All right, so here's the deal. Our democracy is not as strong as it should be. It never has been. Throughout its history, our democracy has struggled to really engage in a valuable way everybody who lives in the country. My great-grandmother was one of the founding members of the Women's Christian Temperance Union. And if you know its history and Frances Willard and Carrie Nation's great work, in the subtitle would be Minnie Horning, who was the founding secretary, my great-grandmother, had to fight for women to have the right to vote. You all either grew up with or studied in school the work of the civil rights movement and its continuing struggles today, so that people of color will in fact have not just access, not just a place at the table, but be valued in our democracy for their identity and what they bring to this country. So I wanted to say tonight a little bit about the Next Generation Leadership Program and why it was so important to the Kellogg Foundation to make this investment. We really are committed to issues associated with making this a more effective democracy, where all of us are valued for who we are and what we bring to this country. You know, being able to be clearly honored for who you are, being valued for what you bring, is the most empowering sense an individual can have. But just imagine if we had a democracy where that was expressed every day in the way this country lived. Imagine that. The results would be different. The decisions we make would be of a higher quality. And as a result, our country would be a better place. I believed that when American Humanics celebrated its 58th birthday in San Diego, and we had come to the end of our major investments from this foundation in American Humanics, I believed that we had created a system where we had a place at the table for the diverse representative nature of our country. And I think all you have to do is look at this room and agree that we did that. But that's not enough. If we stop there, we don't then embrace all that difference and the qualities it brings and how it changes our programs of study and how it changes us as individuals and how then we may change this country. So I had the opportunity to represent my foundation's commitments. If you have not looked at our website, I really encourage you to do so. You know, we work with money. We're a very large private foundation. I'll give you a sense of scope. Our corpus, which is all in stocks, a majority of it Kellogg company stock, but not all, is worth today about $9 billion. We will give away this year just short of $400 million. And when you read our website, you're going to see something that might get your attention. We have declared ourselves as a foundation to be an anti-racist, multicultural organization in everything we do. Yeah. So, when I'm sitting there in San Diego with Kayla and her staff, imagining what else we might be able to do to help this marvelous, expanded, and much more diverse network honor and respond to that commitment so that the democracy I spoke of may in fact live on and really realize the potential of our founding fathers. Got that? We've got to do something that we haven't done. And so I didn't create the Next Generation Leadership Program. The genius of your American Humanics National Staff did that. All I did was put out the challenge to say we would be willing to make a major investment in any program that in fact took this next step that was needed. Because here's what will happen now over the next few years. that next generation of leaders will in fact be honored and engaged in the ways that I described. And all of you who walk alongside of them, who are not in that group, will be different also because of your relationship with them. And then guess what happens? You all go out into leadership roles in the civil society that makes up the support base and the leadership base of our country, and you will do things differently. And our country will be a better place as a result. So it's just like a big deal honor for me, often reluctant to the podium as I am, to be able to come here tonight to say the things that I've said, which is the reason we made the $5 million investment in the Next Generation Leadership Program, so that at least at one point in time, 1,000 Next Generation leaders will walk alongside of all the other leaders that come out of these programs together, and our sector will be different as their careers unfold. And I believe the model is so good that the nonprofit partners, particularly through their relationship with your campuses, will see the value of this approach and care so much about it that they will in fact work hard to be sure this is sustained. And that people will make the investments necessary that this model, developed with grant funds, will in fact continue. And we will have a different way of developing leaders for our sector. And then, you know what? We'll have a different sector. Our society will be more representative in the leadership that you provide through this commitment that we all share. So thank you. And I wanted a chance to say, we got, what is it, 200 plus Next Generation leaders with us. Could I ask them all to stand and be recognized? Please. Remain standing for just a minute. Please remain standing. Okay, now I want to make a really important point on the genius of this program's design. Look around. See the faces of these leaders. Take a good look. Turn your chair. Look. Do you notice something? Do you notice how representative they are? Do you notice that they're not all women? They're not all people of color. They're not all anything. They are, in fact, everything. That was the design that will work. And thank you. And so one more time. Okay, so one last comment, and this is to this group of Next Generation leaders. And I'd love it if the lights are bright enough I can't actually see your faces very well, but I would love that group would be looking at me right now while I say this. Okay? All right, so check it out. With this recognition and with this support, as always is the case in an effective democracy, comes great freedom and responsibility. You have to make sure that this works for everybody around you. You can't say, I'm anointed as a leader. This is not positional leadership. Do not repeat what the good old boys did. Create a new way of leading, create a new way of deciding that embraces and values everybody in your communities that you will serve. And the results that I seek, the results that we care about will in fact occur. So congratulations to this group, and thank you all for letting me have the opportunity to celebrate this with you.